Get kind of like a concrete, I wouldn't call it a list, but a concrete sort of concept about artists that I want to emulate. It's a pretty big advice when people are trying to find their art style. It's like take elements of art that you like and add it into your own art. And then you get something that's equally everyone else's as well as yours, kind of thing. And I always kind of knew which artists I liked the most, but instead I'm trying to find artists specifically that I want to emulate. Now, what's the difference? The difference to me is artists I like could be people, and so even though I do love their art, they are not an artist that I want to emulate. And so I'm looking specifically for other artists who I really like the work they do, and it looks like fun to the point that I would want to try some of that myself. Which I think is a difference between artists that I just like and artists that I want to emulate. Not saying that if I don't want to emulate you, you're not any good or anything, because there are amazing artists out there who I'm not really looking to emulate. And there are other things that I think you can find of value from other artists rather than just their art. Like if you don't know someone, you're not friendly with someone, or it's like you don't think you'll ever get to know them, I think there's a lot more that you could get from their work than just the content that they make. And one of those things, it was the original topic that I wanted to address when I was talking about emulating other artists. Because one of the artists that I want to emulate is Julia. Julia, her name's Julia, from Drawfee. If you guys have ever seen that show, it's really good. Not show. It's a YouTube channel, and they're really good. They used to work for College Humor, but I think they quote unquote all got laid off. But they're still doing their Drawfee thing. Not to say that her art isn't great. I would love it if I was like as great an artist as she was. But I think the number one things that I want to emulate from her are her willingness to push herself, her willingness to experiment with her art. Because the thing is, if you're someone like her who's always praised, because let's face it, a lot of people who watch Drawfee praise Julia for her art, and even the other people who work on Drawfee, Nathan and Jacob and Karina, they also praise her for her art a lot. And it would be really easy for her to just say, okay, I'm good, I'm just gonna stick to what I'm doing, and I don't really need to develop or improve in anything, kind of thing. Because if everyone's praising you, why would you feel like you need to change anything else? But for her, she's always pushing herself. She's always going the extra mile for everything. She's always wanting to experiment. That's the thing. She wants to experiment with her art still. She doesn't want to feel like, oh, this is where I'm at and I'm fine with that kind of thing. And another thing is just the confidence to do that. The confidence to be an artist and just say, it's like, hey, I want everything to be my thing. I want to try everything. And it's gotten to the point that every time like I catch a Drawfee episode, I always look forward to the crazy things she's gonna come up with. Especially Drawfee episodes where they're pre-recorded and they're just talking over their speed paints, which are my personal favorite episodes to watch. I always look forward to the stuff that she is going to do. Even if by the end I'm not a huge fan of the piece that she made, something like that is very valuable. I'm always looking forward to what this person is going to do, kind of thing. That kind of, what's the word? Anticipation. That kind of anticipation for their work, I think, is a great thing to have. And I think it's the one thing that keeps people going. Because I forget who said it. I think it was one of like the gaming YouTubers that I watch or whatever. Probably like one of the super popular ones like Markiplier or whatever. One thing they said was that there are certain YouTubers who, the moment that they upload, you drop everything and you watch what they're doing. You watch the videos that they made. And that can differ from person to person to person to person. And to me, that's an extremely valuable trait to have because it kind of cements that person's longevity. Because that's what a lot of people they kind of get nervous about, especially a lot of YouTubers. They wonder how they're going to change with like the changing of the times and how they're going to adapt to their new audiences or how they're going to adapt to new changes and the area that they're in, or when they're uploading things, or why, or how. And it's one of the biggest things, like, to be willing to adapt is a great thing to have in the circle where it's like you kind of depend on your audience and the willingness to grow. And having people there who will gladly wait months for an upload from you because they know you're going to bring out amazing content is one of the greatest things. And I think it's the most valuable thing that you can have. Because I know there are a lot of YouTubers who pride themselves on, like, maybe uploading every day or every week, or uploading constantly. And I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that. Like, if you want to do that, you can do that, and it's not negatively affecting yours or someone you're close with health in any sort of way. I say go for it. But there's something completely invaluable about the idea that you can take you can take time on the work that you want to create. I think that only comes around, like, it's one of the most valuable traits to have, but it comes around because of a lot of factors. Like what that one YouTuber said, who I can't remember, I don't know if it was Markiplier or not. But what they said, in accordance with the idea that there are some people that you just drop everything and you watch what they uploaded, it's kind of a combination of having just the right type of personality to where people really want to come back and see you, and putting in the work. Putting in a lot of work. Yeah, sometimes it's luck, depending on how far you get, but putting in the work to make good, valuable content to people, and not just pooping out shit all the time. Because if people see that you're putting in a lot of work and you care about the shit that you're doing, they're going to come and they're going to maybe love it. Or at the very least, they're not going to so much hate it. Which is why I'm always surprised when so many people, like, there are certain things we can talk about when talking about parasocial relationships that I think people need to stray away from. The idea that this personality on the internet or something like that is personally your best friend. It's not a good thing to be so attached to people who are never going to know that you exist. It's not the best thing to feel like their word is law on anything, really. And if you have that kind of, like, parasocial relationship, I think you need to take a look at it and examine it for what it is. It can be harmful to you to put so much emphasis on this one individual. But the thing that confuses me about the way people talk about parasocial relationships sometimes is the idea that, oh, this person is just making funny content that you like. And it's like, there's something more sometimes when it comes to your interactions with people on the internet. Not necessarily that you guys are best friends in any way. I think it's important for people to understand that there is more to consuming content, whether that be videos or art or writing or anything really. There's more to consuming content than just being a casual viewer. Like, yeah, that's fine. If you are, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, a lot of YouTubers that I follow, I'm kind of just a casual viewer of theirs. But there are some that I follow that I feel I can gain more from their content. And it doesn't always have to be the super emotional, oh, I feel like I know them, I feel like they help me know myself kind of thing. It doesn't always have to be that. Sometimes it can be, oh, this person has taught me how to have confidence in myself. This person has exemplified to me what a good person sounds like. Or this person has exemplified to me what a good, healthy relationship sounds like, just from their relationship with someone else. It's not great to put that shit on a pedestal. I'm not saying that. But there's more to consuming content than just the content itself. Sometimes it's also the person doing the content. And that is YouTuber Art Advice, Purple Zebra 2020, whatever. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. That was like hilarious to me. Like artists are the new hot girl clickbaiters.